Bastard. Siemanko, witam was wszystkich serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku. Hello Norman.
Siemanko.
Siemanko. Miło mi ciebie tutaj gościć, Norman. Ja sobie pozwoliłem pomóc i wziąć tłumacza, ponieważ ja i mój angielski, od razu wam mówię, nie dźwignęlibyśmy tego, a więc nie jestem tutaj sam. Ale w postprodukcji postaram się to zrobić tak, żeby was nie zanudzać i żeby to było szybko. Norman, bardzo miło mi jest ciebie tutaj gościć. Dzisiaj porozmawiamy o twoim życiu prywatnym, o tym, jak to wszystko zaczęło się. Zaczniemy od twojego dzieciństwa, o tym, jak to wszystko się zaczęło, jak wyglądała twoja droga i jeżeli czas nam pozwoli, to przejdziemy też do kariery sportowej. A jeżeli nie, to nagramy to w drugim odcinku.
I understand.
You understand?
No.
Really?
Fuck all.
I understand only żabka. Norman, jak wspominasz swoje dzieciństwo w Bushmills?
Fuck yeah. Bushmills is only a little small village, about I think 3 or 4 thousand people. So I come from a little small part of Northern Ireland, and yeah, we just we were a big family. We grew up and just like ran the streets, little hooligan, doing what I wanted, fighting on the streets also, and no different for any young lad growing up in Northern Ireland. We just did what we had to do to get by, and I loved playing a lot of sports when I was younger. Played a lot of football whenever I was really young, from I think 5, 6 years old. My uncle learnt me how to play football, and and I played football all my life during school, and then until I got till about 16, I started martial arts when I was about 16.
Okej, Norman, a czy w dzieciństwie uciekłeś w tą dobrą stronę sportu, czy jednak miałeś jakąś historię związaną z tymi chuliganami?
No, not hooligans in like Polish, like football hooligans. I mean, we just like a group of young ones would run around the streets and get up to like a lot of mischief and trouble with the police and stuff like that, because they're bored, not really much things to do around small village. And but I mean, like, we grew up normal, no different from any other young lad, and but we were a little bit mischievous at times too, but that's part of growing up as well. So yeah, it was good fun.
A co skłoniło cię do rozpoczęcia treningów judo w wieku 16 lat?
Well, it was actually from a friend, because we used to go to the nightclub a lot. I used to go to a lot of nightclubs when I was younger, from a young age, like 15, 16 years old, and I bumped into a good friend he never drank alcohol. He was a good person, very fit and into a lot of like sports and stuff. So he introduced me to the judo, and it was in my hometown. I never knew about it, and I was in the small community hall in Bushmills, where I'm from, and I went the first day, and I was just like, right, this is a bit weird, and because judo is a very hard sport to master. It's about throwing people and pinning them on the floor. And I wasn't really keen on it at the start, but the coach said, I think there's a fight in you, so he wanted me to keep coming. So I just kept going, and then that was it, so never looked back. My judo coach wanted me to do judo, but he showed me CDs of the UFC. He showed me the CDs of the UFC, and he said, watch this type of fight, and do you like it? Like the discs from UFC 1.
Yeah.
And I went back home and I watched, and I goes, what the fuck's this here? I like this stuff, I really like it, and the bare knuckle, and they just headbutt, like open weight category, there was no weight categories, and I loved it then. Once he showed me this style of fight, and I was like, I says to him, I like this type of fight, and he goes, you want to do that fight? And he says, right, no problem. So, but one day we would have did judo, Tuesday and Thursday was judo days, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday we would have went to his friend had this farm, but in the top of the farm he put the mats down, and we used to boxing bags, and we used to go there and box, and like I didn't know what I was doing. We used to just punch the bag and just keep going.
I don't know what it is, but I must go.
Yeah, and then he learnt me a lot, from young, just taught me the tough way, which I don't think if you're teaching that nowadays to someone, it's not the right way to teach them, but it was just go in and just fight. But I think that's really put me in a good position to where I am now, so for him, he really got me started, but I really liked it because it was a different sport for me, and I always wanted to defend myself properly, not like in the street where you just fight like a hooligan, but this is like proper fighting, and I says to him, I want to do this style of fighting, MMA, and he says, okay, I know lots of people from Northern Ireland, we can do a fight, so he, maybe after 1 year judo and 1 year training in this barn, we call it the barn, we did, he got me a fight, an amateur fight, against the guy from who his coach was organising this the fight, you know, and it was in a wee small nightclub, and it was really
small nightclub or small fight club, sports club.
No, it was in a nightclub. The fight was set up in this nightclub, and up above, people would have been up here looking down onto the ring, and I come out, and my opponent was from there, you know, and I didn't know what the fuck. I remember coming out and I was scared as fuck, and we just go hell for leather. And
how old do you have?
I think 16 or 17. You know, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I'm like, I couldn't hear anything. You know, everything was a blur. And then we just fight, and then come to the second round, and I didn't even remember what he said during the second round. He says, "You're doing good. You're winning." And then the second round, the guy came in with his head, and I got the choke guillotine, and I'd never practiced a guillotine before in my life. And I just squeeze, and then he tapped. And I remember then after the fight, we found out that this guy had, he only had 1 or 2 fights, but Lion, he fight in the Dublin League, and he had about 12 fights. He's, but sneaky little move, but they don't say nothing after I choke him out. And then after the fight, I go up into the toilet, and I was... For 30 minutes after I'd be sick for 30 minutes. I was
but this problem is condition, adrenaline, stress? What?
Adrenaline after, because I never felt this before. And I remember lying, and he goes, "You alright?" I said, "No." I'd say 30 minutes I lay in the toilet being sick, and then once I come home and after the fight, I was like, fuck, I loved it, I liked it. And then we went to the other fight. My next fight after was, this is only like 1 year training.
Yeah.
He gets me professional fight, and I was like, oh, you can fight this guy, he likes to fight. And we go up to the same arena, you know, same people, organisation, and I never knew about the weigh-ins. They said the weigh-ins was the day before, and he says, why were you not at the weigh-ins? I says, I never heard about the weigh-ins. So I stepped on the scales, and I was 74 kilos. And he says, you're meant to be 70 kilos. I says, why? Because I know nothing about the weigh-ins. Ah, well, you need to start skipping, so I had to start skipping there, you know, and I lost 1 kilo, and I was tired. I says,
1 kilo and
1 kilo. I says, fuck that there. I don't want to fight no more. I'm never going to cut 4 kilos and, you know, and fight 2 hours later. No chance. He goes, it's all right. This boy, this guy, opponent, he likes to fight, you know. Yeah. And this guy took his top off, and he was like a tank. And at that time, he was Irish champion, you know, and he fought all over the UK, loads of fights. Like, I think he had like 15 or 16 professional fights. And then when I seen him, I was like, fuck, look at the size of this fucker. He was huge, really, really big, and a really strong fighter, you know. And we go in, I take him to the ground, and at that time we were only fighting in a square ring, like a boxing ring. There was no cage back then. And I remember we fell out through the ropes, and we had to come back in the ring, and we start in the middle of the ring, and he reversed me. He like swept me, and I go to stand up again, and then boom. It says on my record it's
guillotine?
Rear naked choke, but it's not rear naked. It was guillotine. I go to stand up, and he put this guillotine, and and I had to tap out, and that was it. Yeah, and
your head is mine. And
then he choked me out, and then that was, I said, fuck this here, and so I rest 2 years, and I just judo. Boxing for 2 years, and then boom, I come back, and I won 19 fights out of 20, so I have a very good record. I went on a very good run at fighting all over the UK. Short notice.
Okay, bro, but first your life.
I know.
Sports another.
We went too far, but I'm sure you can cut it and edit it a wee bit.
Jak twoja rodzina zareagowała na decyzję o podjęciu kariery w MMA? Czy oni mieli jakieś przeciwwskazania? Martwili się?
No, not one bit. No, I did what I wanted, and that was it. You know, if I wanted to do something, I just did it. You know, it's just the way we grew up, how we were. They never really worried that I was fighting. You know, maybe for I don't know how they felt inside, but they knew that I just liked to compete and stuff. You know, very competitive person. All sports is very competitive. Even if it was a sport I could never play, I was very competitive. I wanted to win, and. But I remember they just says good luck, you know. If you want to do it, good luck. They never said they weren't against it. They weren't, you know. Just says if that's what makes you happy, do it. So we were always sport orientated, like a lot of people in our family and stuff like that. So I think they just said, okay, if you're happy, then go with the flow. Yeah, just do it. Yeah. So that was it.
Go for it. Okay. Jakie są Twoje największe pasje i zainteresowania poza MMA? Jak spędzasz czas wolny, kiedy na przykład nie trenujesz?
I like watching other sports too. I like watching tennis. I'm a very big tennis fan. I like watching football, obviously, because I grew up playing a lot of football. Our families really support lots of rivalry, especially like one part of my family would be Liverpool and one part of my family would be Man United. So we're kind of like conflict. Crazy. We would fight with each other just because we just support different teams. And but that's just the competitiveness that's inside, you know, too. And but I like doing other things like cycling and stuff like that. I haven't cycled in a long time, but I used to cycle like up around where I live, away around the cliffs, you know. And but I don't have the bike no more. I need to get a new bike, so hopefully when I'll get a new bike, I can start back doing that. But I like to do lots of different sports. As I say, I'm up for trying anything too, so yeah.
Jeżeli tak bardzo lubisz sporty, no to ja Cię zapraszam dzisiaj na golfa.
No, I know what you're talking about. Golf's my dad watches a lot of golf. My dad likes watching lots of sports, but he likes golf and he likes cricket, but I don't like cricket. I hate cricket, but golf's a very, very tough sport and lots of money in golf. Golf's like big business.
Very big business.
If you finish like even lowest in the tournament, you're getting very good money. And you know, obviously Rory McIlroy's from Northern Ireland, very good golfer. You know, one of the best in the world. And like if a tournament's on, like a tournament's usually on every weekend from Thursday to Sunday. This is when the tournament's on from Thursday, and then it'll finish the final day on Sunday. And if it's the big tournament like the US Open or you know the British Open, I'll definitely watch it. You know, but all the other small tournaments, I don't follow it that much. But it's a very, very tough sport. I got some friends who play golf too. You know, but this is like a retirement game, and they think they're professionals, but no, it's a totally different level. Golf's a very, very hard sport, and you need to play golf from very, very young age to get to the top. If you want to compete in it, you need to be playing from. And golf has been known as a game for rich people, you know, people with money, you know. And if you don't have money to play golf from this age, then I don't think you've got a chance. You need someone to sponsor you or something like this. So, Kriha, no chance. You've got no chance.
I played 2 years.
Yeah, but how can you hit the golf ball when your eyes are like this?
Yo, faggot.
You
Za to lubię tego faggot. Brother, you understand all my question.
I know that's
nothing. Only.
Yeah, it's okay.
On wszystko rozumie, ale słowa ci nie powie, nie? Jak zachowujesz równowagę między życiem zawodowym a prywatnym?
Yeah, but I don't fight professional no more. I think the professional fight is gone. I think because I fight for Fame, which is a freak fighting organisation, and it's like either I can fight some professional boy too. They'll maybe get some professional boy, or else I end up fighting a heavier guy who's maybe former bodybuilder, or you know, maybe a professional boxer. We do mixed drills to fight. So I wouldn't say like I train as much as I used to do when I was younger, you know, but I know a lot about my body and how I need to train and stuff for a fight. And I know sometimes like when you're younger you train every day because you want to get better, but when I'm 37 now, so I know how my body works and I know how to push it to get ready for a fight, because what I've learned it's already in my body. I've already known it. So I've been around the game long enough to know what I need to do to get ready for a fight. So, but like I say, Fame is an organisation where I could fight a freak fighter or I could fight a professional fighter. I can go and jump in and fight a professional fighter, no problem. And but I think the freak fights is more entertaining to me now. And
Better for you.
yeah, I think it's more entertaining. It's a different competition because, like, all my life I trained to get to the UFC. I wanted to fight. Everybody's dreams go to UFC, and then when you go to UFC, and then even if it's UFC's big show, big drama show, also, you know, they like people who put on good fights. They like people who've finished fights. Also, a lot of my fights went the distance, and even though some fights I've lost have been split decision and stuff like that there, but they don't care about that there. They just want you to go and put on a good fight, and obviously you win, you move up to the top tier, and when you're in the top tier, like 10, 15, and you stay there, you can get good money. But my whole career was finished in the UFC within 4 years, and if you look at how much I earned, I wouldn't say it's like, you know, you wouldn't say it's like, whoa, that's big money. I didn't earn as much as people probably thought as what I should earn. But I mean, now in the Fame MMA, there's bigger opportunity, bigger money too. The payment's way better to fight in the freak fights, and I think it's best for me to stay there. So there is also Bellator, there's PFL. PFL has a tournament where you enter the tournament. If you win the tournament, it's really big money, but you're going to be fighting really, really tough fights, super tough fights. And for the offers that I got from the organisations, it's been like not very good. So I just say, spierdalaj. I just stay in Poland. Poland's where I can make the money, and that's where I have to stay here to fight. Okay. Unless you know the organisation here, all right, someone pulled out to fight in Bellator or the PFL 2 weeks, can you step in to fight? No problem, offer me good money and I'll fight. If they offer me really good money, I'll fight. It's not like I'll fight the really tough fighter if the money is really good. Why would I really want to fight the super tough fighter for less than half the money what I would get to fight on the Fame MMA? It just don't make sense. So, but if they offer me the money to fight the good tough fighter, I'm here. I never turn down really any fight ever. Only really if I've not been training right or if I'm injured or something like that there. But most of my career I've accepted every fight and ever. So.
Norman, czy decyzja, którą podjąłeś o tym, że dla mnie to jest zrozumiałe. Znam całą twoją historię, karierę. Śledziłem ją, zanim się w ogóle poznaliśmy. I czy decyzja, którą podjąłeś, to jest po prostu opłacalna dla ciebie, ponieważ freak fighty nie są tak wymagające jak walki zawodowe. Czy jeszcze rozpatrujesz na przykład za dobre pieniądze powrót do walki w organizacji sportowej?
It kind of happened by chance too, because I had the last fight in my contract with the KSW when I fought Gamrot third time, and this fight was just a disaster. You know, I just didn't like how everything unfolded with the whole fight, and it was sort of like a blessing in disguise too, because when all that stuff happened with the KSW, we fell out and stuff like this here, back and forth, and it was very negative stuff, you know. And then my agent at the time had good connections with Fame, but I've already been to Fame before, and I watched the fights. Remember, I cornerman for Kriha, and
I remember.
Yeah, so I already knew about the organisation. Whenever I've been there, I says I like this style, you know, and they wanted to bring me across to fight Cassius, and they wanted me to fight him in boxing because he's, you know, the former boxing, you know, amateur boxing champion, and they wanted to do, I guess, cross the fight former UFC fighter against the social media guy and, you know, TV influencer and stuff like this here, and former boxer also. So they wanted to make this fight, and I says I'm up for it. And then once I did the first fight, it was during the COVID, because they did it on the Hilton Hotel under the ground, you know. Remember? They did this in a little small studio, and once the fight was done, I was like, I like this show, I like everything about it. And I said, okay, I could fight the freak fights and fight professional fights too, you know, one to the other. And but as the years went on, then it's just kind of stayed more on the freak fights. But I mean, it's not just freak fights. They can bring in professional fighters for me to fight also. like they have done. They've recently transitioned to bring boxers like Adamek, you know. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
Adamek, yeah.
Seletsky that I fought, and you know, Don Diego, like people from other sports, they bring them into the fame, and they mix the rules and stuff like this here, which is exciting because it's kind of like, you know, way back from UFC one, because UFC, it would have been, you know, this guy's a grappler and this guy's a sumo wrestler, and they just fight to see which one was the strongest fighter. And it was a jiu-jitsu guy that always won the fights, like Gracie always won the fights. But now it's more everyone's well-rounded, everyone's good everywhere. But on the fame, you know, someone's good at one thing and someone's good at the other, so we just mix the rules up. But yeah, I like the freak fights. I like the fight on them. It's interesting for me. You'll have to cut it and listen to what I said and then talk over the top, because I spoke too long.
I made that, yeah? I made 2 movies. First, translate you and translator.
Yeah.
And another only okay. English for you people, you know.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Brakowało mi tego słowa. Norman, jakie są twoje ulubione wspomnienia związane z twoją karierą? Czy jest jakiś moment, który szczególnie zapadł ci w pamięć?
The first one I would say would be the Ultimate Fighter, winning the Ultimate Fighter. Because, you know, it's crazy how I even got to the Ultimate Fighter, because I was in Las Vegas, right? I was in Las Vegas to go into this tournament for $1 million. The winner gets $1 million. So I was in USA, Las Vegas, training for a couple of weeks. And then I heard that this tournament was, it was meant to be in like summertime. And it's crazy because my opponent was the opponent who I was meant to fight was the Russian guy, and this Russian guy was my last fight in the UFC, Kabalov. It was
I know.
Okay, I was meant to fight this guy in this tournament. This was 2012 or 2000, yeah, start of 2012 or something. This was, and then I heard this tournament was delayed. They delayed it till November, end of the year. So I go back to the apartment where I'm staying in Vegas, and I was just on Facebook, you know, just nosing on Facebook, and it says the tryouts for Ultimate Fighter UK against Australia, you know, and because Northern Ireland's part of the UK, so I can apply for that too. And so I contacted my agent at the time, and I said, what about this here? How could I get here? But the tryouts was for not the next day, the following day. So I couldn't apply online. I just had to go back home the next day. I had to fly back home the next day, right? And once I landed home, I had to, also that same day when I flew back home, fly then to London and stay with a friend, and then stay with a friend overnight, and then travel through London through the train, underground, and then come up and land in where this hotel where they did the tryouts in London. And I did that all in that same day. And then I finally got there, and everyone's sitting filling the forms out on the day, you know. And there me thinking you had to fill them before, but no, people were filling the forms on the day. So I sit there 10 hours, sitting just waiting. Norman Parke, okay, yeah, okay, hit pad work. Just a few minutes pad work, okay, go back. If we call your name to this side, that means you're going into the next round, whatever they called me, right? So I went, and then I had to grapple. Next round was grappling with this English guy, so we did some grappling. I take him down, control him on top. Okay, right. A few hours later, if you come to this side here, you're through to the next round. So the next round was just interviews. We had to do an interview for like 30 minutes. And he just talked about, why would you like to be on the show? Why should we put you on the show? What is your interest? Blah, 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 blah. And it's okay, right? So we wait another few hours. If we call your name, to this side you're through. So then we go for the medical, right? So it's like went from maybe like 300 people right down to 16 people, right? 16 people. And this was, I was lightweight category at the time. So we had 16 lightweights to decide, and only 4 can get picked. So we all did the blood work and stuff like that, and said, all right, okay, go home and we'll let you know if we pick you. And so I went back, and because I had a time at a criminal record, we heard about the criminal record, you might not be able to go to the show. And one guy that spoke to me from England said yes, Norman, I heard that they're not going to pick you because something to do with they're trying to pick one more fighter. It's between you and some other guy, but they think because you're criminal record they might not pick you. But it's lies all along. This guy was lying to me. I was picked from the start. I was the first fighter. So that's all right. I just go out on the party and I party all weekend. I party all weekend for 2 days and then I'm sleeping and I heard the phone call, right? And I never answered it, just left it and then it rang again and I says, fuck, what is this? And I left the phone up and it says the number was Australia, you know, and I go, right, what's this? So I, you know, hello, Norman, this is a woman, it's a woman, this is such and such from the UFC in Australia, the Ultimate Fighter, just to let you know that we've picked you for the Ultimate Fighter. And I says, oh, cool, yes, fuck. And that's it. That was probably the best moment there, you know, to get picked for it. And it was just a crazy experience. And then we just go. 2 days later, we fly to Australia for 8 weeks. And, you know, 8 weeks you stay in the house, 8 weeks. 4 lightweights, 4 welterweights, Team UK. 4 lightweights, 4 welterweights, Team Australia. And we're in this big swanky, posh house in Australia. And we just stay there for 8 weeks, train 2 times a day, and no TV, no phone, no nothing, just a book to write stuff on a book. And
yeah,
fuck, it was a mad experience. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't do it again, but it was, looking back on it, it was a good experience, but it was very tough too. But I just says, I don't care, I'm no friends with no one here, I'm here to win it, you know, I'm here for me. And that was it. I ended up going to the final and then fighting the guy who I become really good friends with, and we become really close friends. The other English guys, I didn't like them. They were too like this, you know. They're, too snobby, you know. Like, they were like, they didn't need to do this because they had money, basically. So once they said that, I just knew, I says, they're going out. They'll not win this tournament, no chance. And then, so it was me and my friend in the final, and I ended up fighting him, and I won the fight in the final. So that would have been, the first was getting the phone call to go there, and then the second was winning it. Was probably the 2 most special moments of the career. And then there's loads after that, but I mean, they were the 2 ones that stand out.
A jak się czułeś w momencie, kiedy właśnie z przyjacielem, z którym zaprzyjaźniłeś się w tym programie, musieliście wyjść po finale i zawalczyć razem?
Yeah, because how the TV show works is we go do all the show, right? They record it, and then we go back home. So we know who's in the final. So me and my friend, so they show each week, the TV show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 weeks, and then on the next week, that's when we're actually stepping in live to fight. So for me, whenever I stepped in, it was just touch gloves. We touched gloves every round, and I dominated. I won unanimous decision. I knew my game plan was to take him down, control on top, and then, because he was more like submission guy, but with awkward striking because he's very, very tall. And but once I started taking him down, then he was worried about the takedown. Then I started landing my strikes too. So I won the fight, but there was no different feeling that whenever I stepped into the ring, there was no, oh, that's my friend, I don't want to hurt him, I'm just here. I'm here to win. From the start, I says, I'm here to win the tournament. So, and that was it. But we spoke after and stuff like that there, and we kept in touch after the fight. And oh yeah, he was grand. Yeah. Of course, he was sad he lost the fight, you know, because we became close friends because his girlfriend and stuff knew my ex-partner at the time too. They became close friends, and it was they kept in touch all the time. We kept in touch on Facebook and stuff, and he ended up fighting for the UFC after, and then he got released for a while. But no, it never really bothered me that I had to fight him in the final. I just says, I'm coming in to win, it don't matter. That's the competitive side, you see. I just very competitive, you want to win. And, yeah.
Miałeś bardzo dobry plan na tą walkę. Wygrałeś ją bardzo łatwo, bo wszystkie 3 rundy go zdominowałeś. I też tutaj pojawia się pytanie z mojej strony. Czy na każdą walkę masz bardzo dobrze obrany plan, którego się trzymasz?
You know, I've got a good fight IQ. If I look at someone fighting, 2 guys fighting, I see, right, this guy's certain stronger here, and this, I think, right, this is what I need to do. Like, I can pick that up myself a lot. But I know a lot of fighters, the coach will really tell them stuff like that there, but I can work with my coach and I say, this is what I think, and he would agree with what I'm saying too, because I can see, like, some fighters will be good. They'll want their coach to tell them what to do, but some fighters can have it in them themselves. They just look and see, oh, here, tactically, I know what to do to beat this guy, you know, and that's the way I've kind of always been in most of my fights. And I just went in and fought, you know. If you go in and fight how you are, adapt, you know, with everything that you've learned, just adapt. Don't have the game plan, oh shit, then what happens if it's not working? What do you do if it's not working? You have to be able to adapt to the next thing. So I always says, right, if it don't work, fuck it, let's just swing for the fences. You know, let's brawl, turn it into like a street fight. Yeah, because if you can turn it into a street fight too, it can work for you, because the tactical fighter cannot deal with this sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, but if you have to revert to the street fight, you got to do it. So yeah, most of the time I can figure out myself too.
Tak strasznie poszliśmy w karierę i w sport. Jeszcze wracając do twojego życia rodzinnego, jakie są wartości, które starasz się przekazać swoim dzieciom? Wiem, że synowie są dla ciebie całym światem.
Yeah, yeah. They're crazy. Yeah, they're growing up too very fast as well, yeah. So, I mean, I would never want to push them to do anything, you know, just if they, you know, until they get to a certain age. I think it's more the teenage age where a lot of young ones don't know what to do, you know. They're like confused, even people coming up to like their exams and stuff like that, and they go to the next stage where after school, what do they want to do? A lot of them don't know what to do. And I never thought I wanted to join the army. That was what I wanted to do. I just said, right, I'm going to join the Royal Marines, that's it. And then it never happened. So, and it was just by chance I got fighting. It was never something I ever planned or ever thought would ever happen. So you don't know what can happen. I mean, if they want to do something in their mind, I just support them to do what they want to do, and that's it. I never force them to do anything else. If they're happy doing what, you know, if they want to be a gamer, like a YouTuber or something like that, there, no problem, because lots of people are YouTubers and have a good life, but then you'll have people saying, yeah, but they sit and play a PlayStation or this all day. But here, if he's doing that, making a living doing that, then fair play. So I'll never push him to do anything, but I think martial arts is good to keep them on the right track and focused good. So, and that's it, you know. Never put a lot of pressure on them, never try and, oh, my son do this, my son do that. If he's happy doing what he wants to do, that's it. You got to believe in him and follow him too, so that's it.
Tak, właśnie widziałem, że jeden z twoich synów, starszy, już trenuje judo.
Yeah, he did a wee bit of judo and jiu-jitsu. It was more jiu-jitsu he was doing, not so much judo,
okay.
More jiu-jitsu he was doing at a wee club, you know, on and off, but yeah, I think it's good for him to do it. And then the other wee smaller boy, Ethan, like he looks like he's got a lot of fight in him, so I think this guy, if he wants to be a fighter, I think he'll be the fighter. You know, Isaac's a more relaxed child, so as my older son, you know, but the younger boy, he's 100 mile an hour. You have to keep your eyes here, because if you look away, he's away somewhere. Yeah, so he's 4, so he is, and then the older boy, he's 8, so he is. Yeah, grew up very, very fast. And
what belt have your son?
No, I don't know.
White.
It's white, but you know, from young kids, it's like they get stripes on their belt too. You know, but it's never really. It's good to see them progress doing things like that, but I don't think like putting a lot of pressure on them. You know, doing things like that really early, because just let them have fun. You know, because you see people really like put their son, and then they've got like Facebook pages for like a young one, and it's a lot of pressure on them too. And
then nothing pressure, only this.
Just enjoy and have fun, yeah. And because I know many good people, like good boxers from around our area, whose mother and father, you go to box and you make sure you train hard, and see when they turn 18, they say fuck this here, I'm fed up doing this shit, and they fuck off. They don't want to do it no more. So I think just let them have fun, enjoy it, and get in good shape. You know, judo and wrestling can get you in very good shape. So that's the way I see it anyway. So
Norman, czy brother Norman, dobrze, że mogę to pociąć. Czy był taki moment w twoim życiu, kiedy nie miałeś przyjaciół?
I don't need friends, you know. I only have a few like real good friends anyway, so I think that's the best way to be. You know, I can be happy on my own doing stuff, no problem. You know, seriously, I can just be on my own, going to training, doing this and doing that. It sounds like quite selfish too, but
Yeah.
I think if you can do a lot of stuff on your own, you can be a very strong man too. So, but I've had friends, you know, through sports and stuff like that there. I wouldn't say really, really close friends, but people you train with, that's different, you know. But I'd say I've probably got maybe 3 really close people, you know, friends and stuff like that there, and that's probably about it. And but I mean, everybody's different, you know. Everybody has lots of friends, but no, I can be content on my own and just doing my thing. Yeah, really, and I think a lot of people will agree with that too. Like I think a lot of people agree that they don't need a lot of friends in life too, and that's it, you know. So there's friends, you know, and then there's like really close people who I can tell like close things to, but other guys, some things you just don't say. But if I see them, hello, how are you? We train together and stuff, yeah, but that's about it. Maybe nothing more than that.
Norman, jak odbierasz Polskę? Czy masz tutaj przyjaciół? Czy podoba ci się w Polsce? Czy lubisz polską widownię?
Yeah, I do. I would have a good few friends here, yeah. And I like Poles. Similar people. The Polish people are similar to the, you know, people where I'm from too. Because there's lots of Polish people from Northern Ireland, lots of people from UK, you know, Polish people, loads of Polish people from UK, and they're just similar to us too. They like to have fun, they like to party, they like to drink alcohol too, and so that's where I can just see similarities too. But I do know, like in sports, they're very supportive. They support their fighters and stuff like that there a lot, and I think this is because the way the country's been years ago, they've been by Russian government years ago and by Germans and stuff. They've been always at war, and Russia and Polish people got it very, very tight, you know. Lots of people died and stuff like that there, so I think that's what makes them very strong fighters too, and very competitive. So if you look at Polish, you know, like sports people, they've got a lot of very, very good sports people all over. Lewandowski, even people in track and field and athletics, lots of good Polish girls and guys. Gamrot, you know, very good, you know, top 5 in the world.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah, Joanna, like, look, and fight sports, even all boxers, former boxers, the very tough people, even jiu-jitsu people, like really, really tough jiu-jitsu people. Yeah. Good wrestling. Good.
And this year, #1, all the world, Wardziński, you know?
Yeah, I know, I watched him. He won the tournament by submission. Yeah. So they've got lots of very, very, I think it's because they just how their country was done by years ago, they're very strong and they like to fight. They do like to fight, I know that. And but they do like to see the guy coming from a different country, you know, me coming from a different country, and who is this fucking crazy cunt fighting here? And they watch and they will support me a lot. I get a lot of support in Poland as well. And obviously there's people talk shit. It's fine, no problem. It's everywhere. And but for the most part, I do get a lot of support. Even if I'm fighting against the Polish person, I get a lot of support. More so recently, but at the start, when I fought Gamrot, it was boo. Now it's like, you know, clap. So for me, I don't mind if they boo or clap. It's if they clap, thank you. If they boo, cheers.
Tak. Ty byłeś, Norman, pierwszym w ogóle takim sportowcem z dużymi zasięgami, który tak jakby zrobił prawdziwe show i pokazał, co znaczy trash talk w sporcie. Nikt nie był na to przygotowany w Polsce i myślę, że Gamrot też był bardzo zaskoczony, bo byłeś jego pierwszym w ogóle przeciwnikiem, który włożył mu taką troszeczkę presję na plecy.
Yeah, I knew maybe he got under pressure and stuff. I knew that it made him unsettled and stuff. But it was a very close fight, the first fight, and then the second fight we had in Dublin, no contest, and it was still like, hell broke loose after the fight. We were fighting inside the cage after, and then the third fight, obviously I fucked about and didn't do the weight cut right, paid the price, and stood like a fucking clown for 3 rounds and just jab, punch, jab. And the doctor says, Norman, your face, I have to stop. I says, fuck it, keep going. You're all right. And that was it. So, but smack talk is a big part of the game, but it's for me it's fun the way I like to do it, with just a bit of fun feel to it, not serious.
Ja wiem ogólnie, jak to wszystko wyglądało. I jakbyście chcieli zacząć od zaplecza, dlaczego tak się wydarzyło, to ja wam tutaj w opisie podrzucę odcinek, bo my już się wtedy przyjaźniliśmy, mieszkaliśmy razem i w opisie zobaczycie cały przebieg. Ja wtedy nagrywałem vloga z robienia wagi, z tego w ogóle jak to wszystko wyglądało, także w opisie znajdziecie materiał. Norman, czy jest jakieś marzenie, które chciałbyś zrealizować?
Good question. Um, I don't know. I just kind of think about just I don't know. I'm more so just like see the children grow up and stuff like that there, and just have a good life, you know, enjoy your family and stuff like that there. I think when I get a wee bit older, you get a wee bit more wiser, so they say anyway. But I don't know if there's not just to be happy. That's it. Be happy and just, you know, train every day. I think training's a big part of me, and it's important for me too, because when I never train, I feel like you can drift to this, you know, the different side. So, but whenever I train, I feel like I'm on track. It's like a good routine, you know, good routine. Wake up, go to the gym, train, okay, right. Wake up the next day, go do stuff with children I got there. Next day, wake up, maybe go swimming or stuff with the children too. Go back to training again. I think this is good to hear. Just day by day, I just live day by day, not too far ahead, because you don't know what's tomorrow. You never know. So I just like the dog, just live in the moment.
I love this, brother.
Yeah, of course I live in the moment every day.
It's my favorite kurde coach.
Yeah.
It's kurde coach. Joe Dispenza, you know who is this?
Who?
Joe Dispenza. You don't know?
Oh, Joe.
You live only here,
yeah,
now and here.
That's the way I am all the time.
No tomorrow,
Yeah.
no yesterday, only here.
Oh, next
now.
week I have to go here, and then next week we have to go there, and I'm just never. I get anxiety thinking too much like that. I just say, never worry. I'm still just thinking about here at the moment.
Yeah.
But and I think it's correct to be like that.
No,
Not
you know,
everyone's
this
like
is a little bit. This is very small meditation. Your life now is here, 100% focus.
If you
now.
if you train every day, like every day, if you train every day, or even something like athletic every day, you eat good food every day, and you see just doing them things straight away, you'll be a different person. I know I am. I know what it feels like to be shit, but I know what it feels like to eat good food and train every day, and you just feel like, headspace, and that's it.
Tak.
Just till the end of the day, and then here next day, let's go again.
Jak jesteś w tu i teraz, to pozwalasz życiu, żeby ono się wydarzało i przychodzi najlepsze. Norman, to może przejdźmy do tej części, która też będzie interesować dużą widownię. Jak wygląda twoja znajomość z Conorem? Wiem, że razem trenowaliście, wiem, że był taki moment, że miałeś mu pomóc w obozie przygotowawczym, ale byłeś kontuzjowany. Jak wyglądała wasza znajomość?
No, we never trained together. No, we just met a few times. You know, we were meant to fight way before UFC time. We were meant to fight, but it never happened. But no, we never trained together. He invited me to go train him one time whenever he was getting ready to fight with Diaz, the second fight, when he's getting ready, because Diaz is left-handed, you know, and Diaz can fight the distance and he can take a punch. I think right here I would be a good partner, you know, a training partner for this. But my knee at the time when he called me was, I'd be no use. I'd just be like a punching bag. So maybe I should have just went anyway. Maybe I should have just taped and go. But no, I wanted to make sure that it was proper and then we could train together. But it never happened. But he did invite me down. He did, yeah. He said, come and help me train for the fight, and you don't need to do anything. We'll sort you out. So, but it never happened because I was injured badly at the time, and then who knows what would happen if I went to train? You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Because look at Dylan Dennis, you know.
Yeah,
this guy's nobody.
All sparring you win, and Conor, bye.
Yeah, no, I'm not really. Before I used to always want to, when I trained in the USA, I did really good with Michael Chandler, with Jeremy Stevens. I dominate all these guys, but then I realised it doesn't matter in the gym. Doesn't really matter what happens in the gym. What matters whenever people's watching, you know, actually in the fight is when you need to turn it on. And I was always worried sometimes, I beat him in sparring, that means in the fight I'll be alright. But sometimes in the fight I never actually fought the way I should have done. I was maybe held back a little bit, nervous or something. Especially in UFC, I would never go, like just let go. And then now after a career, I just say fuck it, let's just fight. You know, I think it's the best way. Don't think too much, just go. Because when you sit and think and worry too much, you freeze. You can freeze inside and do nothing. So me is just to go and fight. But
I know. Muszę po polsku zapytać. Czy uważasz, że twoja kariera w UFC potoczyła się tak, a nie inaczej, bo właśnie Conor McGregor skradł całe show? Bo tak naprawdę twoja kariera, ty zakończyłeś karierę w UFC nie mając podstaw. Twój bilans, twój rekord był dodatni, ale tak naprawdę ty robiłeś bardzo dobrą robotę w tym UFC. Bardzo dobre zaczepki, spektakularne walki. Te walki nie były nudne. I czy uważasz właśnie, że twoja droga w UFC potoczyła się tak, a nie inaczej, bo całe show skradł Conor?
Yeah, but the UFC...
Your record is plus.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And I know the record's plus in some fights, like I think maybe 2 fights in Brazil anyway. The 2 fights I had in Brazil was the draw, I won the draw, and then the one was split decision with Trinaldo. I think these fights was one. I won these fights, but I did lose against the.
Does Piotr Hallman win this opponent?
No, Tebow.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Tebow won by split decision.
Yeah.
And I fight Tebow in Boston, but I watched the fight. Tebow, it wasn't a good fight, but Tebow did win the split decision, in my opinion, he did. And then a fight against the Russian guy, and he did beat me by the 2 rounds to 1, he did. I watched him, so I did lose 2, and then I feel like I won the other ones, but that, the UFC don't care about that. But I know it's about a big show as well, like UFC, it's changed even more since I've left. It's more about, look at the champions, you need to become popular also, you know. And not just in the fight, you need to become popular outside of the fight. That's how the UFC runs now. You need to be doing, oh, I know this famous footballer, I know this famous other fighter. You need to be collaborating together just to make your profile bigger. That's how the UFC, it's how the big money machine just keeps going. And if you're not like that, if you're a champion and you're quiet, they won't give you a fight. They'll keep you down the bottom. Look at Gamrot now. He's fighting Dan Hooker. And Gamrot will fight Dan Hooker, who's ranked way below him. But why he not get to fight someone above him in the rankings? Because I think maybe they don't want to push him really fast, you know. Whereas if Gamrot was doing I guess here, he would be fighting for the belt tomorrow, you know, really. But they want to try and keep him down here a wee bit.
Yes, brother, what do you think? Przepraszam. Co myślisz o najbliższej, zbliżającej się walce właśnie Gamera z Hookerem w Australii?
No, that's what I just say, but I don't know why Gamrot's fighting this guy, because first it was meant to be Charles Oliveira was meant to fight Dan Hooker. It was announced they were meant to fight, and then now it's changed. The Gamrot will fight Dan Hooker, but I think the fight that should have been made was Gamrot against Charles Oliveira. This is the fight, and then if Gamrot wins that fight, he fight for the title. 100% he should be fighting.
Scare.
I think Oliveira don't want to fight the Gamrot. I think he don't, because Gamrot is very good awkward striking and good control on the ground. Like, he don't have to do jiu-jitsu much, but he can control with wrestling base, and he has that. Plus he has good jiu-jitsu. They're probably similar jiu-jitsu. Maybe Oliveira is a little bit slightly straight jiu-jitsu, slightly better, but I think Gamrot's better grappling all round, you know, and I think he don't want to fight the Gamrot.
Ja się sam pilnuję, żeby po angielsku nie pytać. Ten świat jest mały i w ATT chodzą pogłoski, że Gamer jest naprawdę mocny, jest głównym sparring partnerem właśnie czołówki. Więc ja uważam również, że Oliveira po prostu on unika tej walki, nie chce tej walki.
Yeah, I feel he don't want to fight him. Yeah, I don't think he wants to.
All people this team ATT know Gamer is the best.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to fight with Gamrot, but I think Gamrot against Makhachev is a very, very close fight, because Parke looked good against the Makhachev in the last fight. Parke looked good, but I think Gamrot's better than Parke. And plus he's got more style, you know, more grappling style to deal with someone like Makachev. But I'd love to see Makachev against Gamrot. I really want. I said it from the start. I'd love to see, because Gamrot is good wrestling. He's good jiu-jitsu. Striking, I would give the edge to Makachev. I think Makachev is a slightly better striker, but in the grappling department, they're similar, I think, you know. But that's the fight I really want to see, because I think the only threat is someone who has. The only threat to the Makachev is someone who has really good wrestling and jiu-jitsu, similar style. You need to have this style to be, you know, really competitive. I think Gamrot's got the style to beat him. He could beat him, but it'd be a very tough fight for both fighters. A very tough fight.
I know. Jakie było twoje największe wyzwanie w całej karierze MMA?
Everything I liked about it, really. I wouldn't say anything was really challenging, you know. But the weight cut, when I was fighting in the UFC, like, the weight cut was very tough. Even after the UFC, when I fight the Gamrot the first time, the weight cut was so tough. Second time I missed it very much, and third time I always wanted to move up. The only challenging thing was the weight. That's it. You know, nothing else. I liked the fight. I did like the fight. I liked everything in the build up. I liked the nerves, anticipation, everything about that. I loved all that there. But the only tough thing was the weight cut. That was it. Nothing else. I liked the fight, and I liked it, you know, because I think whenever I used to fight before, last minute, I had 1 year, I had 8 fights in 1 year. It was ring up, do you want to fight next week? No problem. You know, you don't think, you just go do it. Whereas whenever you fight in the UFC, it's like longer duration. You know, when you're fighting, the longer time, more time to think about it. I'd rather just go and do it, you know. And I can fight short notice fights. If I'm in shape and I can fight short notice fights, no problem. But the only thing was ever the weight cut was the most challenging. Nothing else has been really challenging. The weight cut was. The rest of it, I loved the rest of it. No?
Okay.
I know you said don't talk about the weight, but that was the only thing. The weight was the most challenging. The rest, the fight and all, was for me just fuck it, let's go.
I know. Jakie widzisz różnice między największymi galami na świecie UFC, a obecnymi freak fightowymi w Polsce? Ponieważ opinie są różne i ostatnio rozmawiałem ze środowiskiem z Dubaju i mówią, że w Polsce freak fighty robią wydarzenia większe niż UFC.
Well, it's not really hard to know the difference. The difference is the publicity, the fame. MMA compared to all the other organisations is just more dramatic, more. It just feels a bigger feel to it. Even my coach said it. You know, he went to the fame show and.
I remember first time you coach. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like fuck. This is, and even after fights, there's something always happening. You know, there's always like music playing, something to keep you entertained. It's not like you do the fight, okay, fight's over, blah, wait. Oh, next fight, here we go. There's always something happening in between, and it's more entertaining, I think. It's becoming like an entertainment thing too, you know. It is entertainment, but I think it's the entertainment aspect of the freak fights is more better than the normal average MMA show that you get. Even Bellator come to Dublin and only like 6,000 people there. They come, and PFL do only like a few thousand people, you know, but they have big money from, you know, people who investors and stuff like this. But the atmosphere is not good, definitely not good. But whereas you go to the one, I'm like, fuck, the difference is like day and night difference from the freak fights atmosphere to the normal fights atmosphere. It's totally different. And my coach said, fuck, this is, when I fight with this Sheliga in Krakow, we come out and I went, fuck, the size of this arena is huge, 23,000 people, and then we fight in a wee small cage, and then I come out to the music and doof, 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 doof. I'm like, fuck, this is mad. And then I see him on here, he's just standing there, I can nearly high five just there, and I could see him, I says, oh fuck, here we go. And then that was it. Everything about that was probably the best time. The best fight, or the best the best feel it had was the one in the Krakow, that one in the small cage. I want to fight in the small cage again.
4 meter all, 2 and 2.
Yeah. I want to fight in the small cage again against someone. Just fight till the death, fighting just to go, you know, till someone just tired. I want to do this.
You love it, this show.
I love the Fame MMA show, like the one in the small cage. I'd love to do it again. People want to see me fight in the small cage. I says I'll fight someone who's tougher and it'll not be easier fight, and then just fight, no time limit, just go till someone just who else did the Dubel fight the small cage against the who did he fight against in the small cage? No time limit. Remember?
Yes, and Kasper Błąski.
Casper, yeah. They go fuck for ages, and then at
one
the end
round,
they're just,
no limits time.
At the end, they're just and the referee's like, "Come on, fucking hit him!" And then someone just get
two dead people.
Yeah, but they fought for 17 minutes. You know, this is a long time, very long, and they were exhausted. And people, I respected that because, fuck, that was a very long time, and they fought their heart out till the end. Yeah, and I was like, I want to do that. You know, I want to feel that too.
And I won't do that.
Yeah, what?
What?
You can hold my bucket.
Fuck you. Ja też bym bardzo chciał właśnie zawalczyć w małej klatce w boksie, w małych rękawicach, bez limitu czasowego.
Yeah.
But only box. Only box.
Yeah. It's interesting. Oh, I'll fight anything. All boxing. I don't like kickboxing. I'm not really a kickboxer. Yeah. I'm boxing or wrestling, you know, or MMA or boxing I would do. But I don't like this kickboxing. Like, not that I'm against it. I like watching it, but I'm not a good kickboxer. I'm not a kicker. I don't kick much.
You very like. Ty bardzo lubisz brudny boks.
Dirty box.
Yeah,
of course.
You like dirty box.
If it don't work, you're like
a little bit punch, a little bit head.
Yeah.
I know.
So I would be interested to fight in the small cage again. Yeah, I'm going to speak with the Fame MMA after. Hopefully my next fight I get the job done, and then I say I put me in this small cage and lock it and don't let me out again until someone's finished. Tak, maybe I'll finish the fight then, you know. No distance.
A jak wspominasz walkę o pas tymczasowy KSW z Marcinem Wrzoskiem, co ty powiedziałbyś na taki rematch na Fame MMA? Na Fame MMA, sorry. Już łączę polski, angielski.
No, we do the rematch with Marcin Wrzosek.
Yeah. For the Fame MMA.
Yeah. When we spoke before, I says I will fight him, but he says I'm dodging him. I'm not dodging no one. Philip's my manager, Bonkowski's my manager, and he's the one who got me my fight sorted. Nothing to do with. I says, man, if they send me the contract to fight him, I'm signing it. You know, who thinks I'm running from Wrzosek? What is Wrzosek's danger to me? He's a fat Teletubby. He's a little fucking ugly Teletubby with fake teeth. His teeth are fake. So maybe I can knock them fake teeth out of him, put them down his ass.
Maybe Wrzosek punch, you only slap.
Yeah. No,
okay, no problem for me this fight.
Wrzosek's good fighter, you know, but
I know.
He's a tough fighter too, yeah. But if we fight again, we will fight again. No problem. When the time comes, but the fight will happen. But I've got bigger fish to fry at the moment.
I know.
Bigger fish to fry, and once I get the job done, then boom, he can lick the klapke, he can lick the flop, and then on the camera. He licked it on the camera. He did it on the camera. I says, okay, I give you the fight. Good girl.
Big boo, big fat. Właśnie, Norman, a już możemy o tym rozmawiać, już jest walka ogłoszona. Co ty sądzisz o tej walce? Dlaczego się zdecydowałeś na boks w dużych rękawicach?
No, my manager just got back to me and says, okay, look, do you want to fight Wilkie Boo? And he said, you know, first I asked, let's fight in the small gloves, no problem, let's do it. And then they just got back to me, I don't know whether it was him, but we're fighting to 10-ounce boxing gloves, like professional gloves. And the professional gloves, I like them. I like them better than the MMA gloves, to be honest, because these ones here, these Fame gloves here, them Storm ones, I don't like them gloves, you know, I don't like them, they're too big. They feel like they're, this bit here, look, this bit here, you see?
This?
Yeah, there's no need for that bit there, you know. I like, look at the old ones, look at the old Fame ones, look at the white ones. You look better. You know, these ones are better. I like these gloves. Look.
First Fame MMA, Fame MMA 1.
Just the gloves. Not look at these ones here. They have this bit here. I don't like that, but these ones, I like them. I would wear them, no problem. But
I know why. Because
you feel your hands better, you put your hand into the glove, it's a better feel. But these feel like when you put their hand wrap and it feels like fuck, just don't feel right. It feels really, really stiff or something. But 10-ounce boxing gloves are actually really good because they're like like the MMA glove, they wrap around the paddings like here and around here, and it feels very good in your hand, but they don't feel good in my hand when I fight with them. But these ones, fuck, no problem. Yeah, no problem. But I'm going to fight him. Yeah, 1 round, 15 minutes straight fight. So I need to I need to be careful and don't get.
Norman, to może zróbmy tak. Będziemy pomału kończyć. Na sam koniec może podpiszesz tą rękawicę dla jednego z naszych widzów. To jest rękawica z mojej walki, z prawdopodobnie Fame MMA 12, gdzie wygrałem. I rozlosujemy ją. Zrobimy jakiś fajny konkurs za udostępnienie odcinka i wylosujemy. Nabywca zdobędzie rękawicę z podpisem i zdjęcie z twoim autografem. What do you think?
Yeah, no problem. 100 zloty.
Okay, you pay me?
You pay me? Yeah, no, I had no problem. I signed them, yeah. Yeah, of course I signed them. No problem, bro.
No problem.
Easy for me.
I know. Także będzie do wygrania
Remember this
rękawica.
girl in the Poznan on the bike?
I know, I remember.
How'd you know her?
You remember? Here and here? Tak. Tego nie dajemy do końca.
Say no more.
No. Kończąc, chciałem Ci powiedzieć, że bardzo miło mi było, że mogliśmy to nagrać. Myślę, że część widowni będzie chciała więcej. Może zrobimy jakiś interview live, żebyśmy mogli porozmawiać na więcej tematów, bo mieszkaliśmy wspólnie przez długi czas w Poznaniu, imprezowaliśmy, ja Cię zabierałem w różne miejsca. Naprawdę mamy o czym rozmawiać. Historie nasze są, myślę, że na niejedną książkę by się nadały.
5 years, bro. Remember?
5 years.
I meet you first with Primic, and we meet in this hotel or in the apartment.
Yeah. Remember.
And
yeah. Coach Andre give this house
right,
apartment.
Yeah.
You remember?
Fuck, yeah. He says, "Stay you there," and I see this guy with eyes. Hello, Norman. I'm like, fuck, this guy's crazy.
Zawsze mi dokuczał z tymi oczami, ale słuchajcie, no pozdrawiamy z tego miejsca trenera Andrzeja Kościelskiego, super gość. To w ogóle tak się złożyło, że dzięki niemu mieszkaliśmy razem i mało kto wie, naszymi sąsiadami był Gamer i Borys.
Yeah, I remember we met.
You don't must translate this, Norman. This crazy time. Bardzo dziękuję Wam za dotrwanie do końca. Zostawcie subskrypcję, najważniejsze, cokolwiek, łapkę, jaka by nie była, czy w górę, czy w dół. Ja to zrozumiem, bo mój angielski nie jest najlepszy. I za udostępnienie i komentarz będzie do wygrania ta rękawica, za udostępnienie Reelsa na Instagramie, także w opisie social media. Główna rolka z tego wywiadu, gdzie będzie konkurs na rękawicę. Możecie wygrać rękawicę, zdjęcie z autografem. Dzięki za odbiór. Thank you Norman.
No problem, brother. Shake my hand.
Shake my hand.
Take my hand. Cheers, dziękuję.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Dzięki.